Hi, and welcome to today's video. This is a bit of a more somber topic, and I'm hoping it might resonate with some of you so that you might not feel so alone. Hi, my name is Amy Brown. I'm 54 years old, and I have no friends. And I would like to say that I'm the only one in this situation, but I did a search on YouTube for this I have no friends topic, and I can see that it's a real issue for men and women of all ages. So that was something I was surprised to find out. So this video is more of me just rambling and a rant. So if that's something that interests you, please keep on watching. If not, you might want to stop the video now. I am grateful that I have a few friends, an inner circle, but they live in other states. So I can't meet them for breakfast at the Cracker Barrel or go see a movie together. So that's just difficult, of course. I'm grateful for my husband and my two adult daughters, and I still want friends. And I wonder if I'm worthy of having friends. And I have to remind myself that I'm not a less worthy person because I don't have friends. I have made some new friends here in Florida. But of course, I'm worried they're going to find out, once they find out who I am and what I'm like, that, they're going to hit the road. So I'm optimistic, but I've seen a pattern in my life that I can't ignore either. So that's why I'm not fully optimistic. I have always been envious of women that have a lot of friends. I have never been that person. I always feel like I'm back in first grade when I meet someone new and I ask them if they want to be friends and come over to my house and play. At 54, I didn't think I would still be feeling that way, but I do. I did move around a lot as a child and I didn't have many friends. As an example, by fifth grade, I had been in 4 schools and I lived for many years in a rural setting, and there were very few neighbors nearby, just mostly farmland. I also switched schools in 11th grade, which was interesting. And I think I had low self-esteem and I was insecure when I was younger. Probably still do, but definitely not as bad as when I was younger. And I've always envied the people that say, oh, I was friends with, Melissa from kindergarten. I can't even imagine that. And I'm just wondering if there's anyone watching this video that can relate to what I'm saying. I have had friendships over my 54 years, but they never become or long term. The friends come and go over the years, which is why, yes, I have made some friends in Florida, but I'm worried they're going to come and go. Some of the friends I think back and I still, to this day, I miss them dearly. And others, not as much, or not at all, I should say. There definitely is an ebb and flow to friendships in my life. And at least for me, I don't know, maybe friendships, I've given this a great deal of thought. Maybe friends come into your life for a season. Maybe they're there to teach you something. And then once they've taught you that lesson, they move on. I have become friends with people over the years who I knew up front they were not kind people. They were not genuine, authentic people. But I had no friends. So it seemed like a good decision to spend time with those people whose company I didn't really enjoy. And it actually ended up making me feel more lonely. And of course, over time, those friendships crumbled. But loneliness can absolutely blind you when you have no friends. It can blind you to people that you shouldn't be friends with or that are not the ideal friends for you. And I have this tension between knowing that there are a lot of people in the world who have far worse problems than what I'm talking to today about, but also B, the reality that loneliness hurts. So I'm not sure where I fall on that tension on any given day. And I do realize that I'm an eccentric person. My entire life, I have felt like a square peg in a round hole. And I have to remind myself that just because I'm weird and I have anxiety issues, I still deserve friends. And one of the most troubling discoveries over the years was for me to find out in my journey that some of the meanest, nastiest people that I've encountered were actually church people, which I wouldn't have expected. I attend a solid church in Florida, so I'm lucky that that's currently not the case, but it is a recurring pattern that I've noticed. And when friendships end, I fully blame myself. And then I have to remind myself that it takes two people to mend a broken relationship. I can't be the only one. And I remind myself that the other person didn't do anything to fix the friendship. So I definitely do a lot of self-judgment and self-evaluation, but I've definitely come to the point where I think this was either a book or a poem. I can't remember the author, but if someone wants to leave, hold the door open and let them. And I have gotten to that point over the years with self-evaluation. And Gary Vaynerchuk, he's one of my favorites. He talks about if you want to be happier, have zero expectations, and that would include with friendships. I'm working on that. I do have expectations, so I'm working on it. I have gained confidence over the years when I walk into new settings and I know no one. I have to do that to make new friends. And walking into a room full of women where you don't know a single person is really an awful feeling. But I make myself do it because I don't have any friends. I have to challenge myself. And as I've aged, I have gained some wisdom and perspective on that. And also just on friendships as a whole. And over the years, I have confused coworkers and colleagues as friends, and I have been consistently let down and hurt. And Oprah Winfrey has a saying, something like the universe, it'll speak to you, but first in whispers in life, but then if you don't pay attention to the whisper, it gets louder and louder. It's like getting thumped upside the head, and if you don't pay attention, you're going to get a brick upside the head, and then the brick wall will fall down on you if you continue to ignore it. And I think that was definitely the case in my life. The brick wall had to actually fall down. I had to repeatedly learn the hard life lesson that coworkers are not your friends. I've left 7 or 8 companies as an adult, and when former coworkers don't reach out, I just felt sad and let down. And when you leave a company, I've just been amazed at how few people continue to reach out. And also, even if you're with the same company, but you switch teams or switch departments, it's amazing how quickly people can turn on you. Once you're no longer valuable to your team members and your so-called coworker friends, you will get ghosted by nearly all of them. And it's rare to find a real friend at work. It's a situational friendship. Once the situation is over, so is the friendship. And maybe a healthier way to think about this topic is that your coworkers are a team and not a work family like many groups will say to you. I've heard that term work family over and over. We're a family, we're a family. It's not the case. I've been 30 years in the workforce to finally figure this out. It's just a shame that along those 30 years, I've had so much heartbreak and been let down. But I think I have gained wisdom and perspective on coworkers. And I did move to Florida last year, and I'm trying hard to make new friends. And sometimes, honestly, it feels like a part-time job because if I'm tired and I don't want to go to an event, I have to remind myself, you have to go. You have to make friends. And of course, in any area, many of the women have, long-term friend groups, and they don't need a new friend. They don't necessarily want a new friend. They are all set. I have gone out with different groups of women. I often, not always, still feel like an outcast in a group setting, but I do know that there are healthy, supportive friendships out there, and I'm happy that I have made new friends in my new area. These are some good people, some kind people, which is what's important. And I'm just hopeful that some of these friendships can move from the acquaintance slash new friend category into an inner circle close friend level. That would be amazing. So I hope this gave value to someone out there that maybe is feeling lonely and felt like they were the only one. But you're not. You're not the only one, and you do deserve friends, and you are worthy of friends. I appreciate you listening today. Thanks for watching.